talk in Guadalajara. Student, it seems to me that he is referring to, they don't have problems with the authorities of, teacher, this policy of John the 23rd. I'm going to tell you a great truth. The harsh reality is that this new Vatican policy, we had to initiate it during the time of Pius XII. It was our task to write a letter that we sent to Pius XII. Perhaps you're familiar with it. It received a lot of publicity. In that letter, we proposed an ecumenical council. We suggested a confederation of religions. We drew Pius XII's attention to stop his attitude of persecution against all religions in the world. We pointed out the need to unite to form a bloc against communism, etc., etc., etc. It was a long epistle that you know about, many of you in the Gnostic movement, because it was published. Well, the result, John the 23rd took that letter and immediately initiated the Ecumenical Council, the Confederation of Religions, stopped attacking other faiths. Then came Paul VI with the same policy. So, we originated the new Vatican policy, which was favorable to us. The persecution against us ended. If we hadn't sent that letter, there would still be religious persecution. Since then, Paul VI walks arm in arm with the Patriarch of the Eastern Church, of the Armenian Church, etc., etc., etc. Conclusion. The policy changed thanks to that letter, the epistle addressed to Pius XII. So, political work had to be done, so that the Gnostic movement could move forward. Later, cases arose like the one that happened in that town over in Venezuela, where a little priest over there took up arms against the Gnostics. He called on the townspeople to burn the house where the Gnostics gathered, stoned the house, and did 50 other devilish things. Then ACE, who was the director of the Venezuelan Gnostic movement, wrote a letter to the cardinal. I think it was the cardinal there, wasn't it? Well, the result was immediate. That cardinal removed the little priest from the town where he was and sent him somewhere else. I believe out of the country, right? Student, teacher. Yes, the Gnostics were favored. The armed forces arrived in the town and favored the Gnostics. And that priest was taken out of the town and sent elsewhere. And the Gnostics continued in the town. That wouldn't have happened before, in the times of Pius XII. But thanks to the new Vatican policy, there is no longer that religious persecution. And we were the ones who started the new Vatican policy, with the letter or epistle we sent to Pius XII. Conclusion. The Ecumenical Council? It happened. The new policy of confederation or fraternity with other faiths. It developed. Since then, everything has been going very well. We no longer have problems. In fact, there are now many priests involved in Gnosis. We don't have any problems anymore. They are all priests in robes, already involved in Gnosis. Student, teacher. Well, easily. For us. I wish they'd give us the cathedral here. The Cathedral of Guadalajara wouldn't be bad for us. Well, what were you saying, brother? Student. We know that within us, the Gnostic brothers, news often spreads that sometimes some have to, and others don't. I heard something similar, like that the letter sent to the Vatican caused, as I was told, the death of the two other master brothers, Master Propato and Master Sivananda. How true is that, teacher? No, it's not true. But there is something there worth investigating, something that has made me think. Because Propato, or Master Luxemil, who was the founder of the American Liberation Action in the South, with many affiliates, and who joined Gnosis, makes us think a lot that, even being one of our best pillars in Argentina, he would have passed away, right? As for the other master, Sivananda passed away around the same time. He was also one of the brothers who joined us. He had already begun to carry out his gigantic work, none other than the Guru Deva Sivananda. He joined me, and these two passed away? I understand that, when a master has a gigantic mission, he alone has to answer for that mission. They took them out, the poor ones. So I have no choice but to regret it. But, really, each of them had their mission to fulfill, and it wasn't their task to deal with this Gnostic movement issue, but mine. So, right there, they were taken out. Student, teacher. Yes, or as they say here in Guadalajara, pas si, well, yes. So we will move forward, my dear brothers. In any case, what I want to tell you all is, no one can stop this anymore. I've been studying this in the inner worlds. The night before last, I was examining the situation, and I see that we are, precisely, on the eve of great global battles, on the eve of worldwide action, Europe and Asia. And it's clear in the higher worlds. So consider what it means to be missionaries. Student, teacher, you will have to face things on a global scale. Student, teacher, of course. As they say around here, sure that yes. Student, the single ladies? Teacher, the single ladies? Well, everyone has their mission to fulfill. Everyone is given their mission in due time. Everyone is given a place where they can go to work on the great work. Student, master, in other existences. Teacher, well, let me tell you something. By mere recurrence, most of you are with me. Do you think you'd be here if you hadn't been with me in the past? I assure you that if you could remember your past lives at this moment, you'd see yourselves in Rome with me, in the time when I had the personality of Julius Caesar, and you'd see yourselves as part of the Roman legions. Student, let me know if you'd like any adjustments. Master, well, man. Student, master, master. Well, now, about the fact that you've heard a lot about Tuesday Lobsang Rampa, there isn't anyone who hasn't read Tuesday Lobsang Rampa, who by the way, fulfilled a mission, not exactly to lead someone to self-realization, but rather as a call, like a clarion call, because he, in a popular way, gave an initial teaching to people who had never heard of such things in their lives, right? And many who have read Tuesday Lobsang Rampa are with us today. I don't want to tell you that Tuesday Lobsang Rampa and his teachings lead anyone to self-realization, of course not. But at least they help people to learn something, right? Now, regarding what happened to him, it's accurate. We know well that the physical body of Tuesday Lobsang Rampa, due to so much suffering and torture, finally became useless. And that body was mummified in Tibet, that's true. So, Tuesday Lobsang Rampa passed away. He took over an English body, changed bodies. The body of an Englishman who no longer wanted to live, and, if he hadn't blown his brains out, it was by luck, because he had plenty of desire to commit suicide. There was that poor man, jobless, completely down and out, naturally. That doesn't inspire the will to live in any way, right? On one of those many days, that Englishman was acting like a monkey, as you say in South America, climbing up a tree, doing silly things, and suddenly, his foot slipped. And in that precise moment, the masters cut the silver cord of the Englishman and immediately connect the silver cord with the silver cord of Tuesday Lobsang Rampa. Then, Tuesday Lobsang Rampa was left with a living physical body. The wife of that Englishman immediately went, "Oh, what happened to you, dear? Let me put warm water cloths on you." Finally, Tuesday Lobsang Rampa was able to fully control the body. He had to learn how to control it. He didn't know how to speak English, not a word. He gestured to the poor woman as best as he could, who, by the way, he now had as a wife. He was set. The harsh reality is that Mr. Tuesday Lobsang Rampa is now an Englishman. He lives in, well, he was in Canada, then moved to Uruguay, a good man. The atoms of his mummy have been exchanged with the atoms of the English body, so, practically, he's returned to having his old body, now readapted to live. It is said that even the same scars from the mummified body remain. Student, master. Well, they transferred to the English body. Something very similar happened to me, with the difference that I didn't have to exchange atoms with someone else's body, no, but simply with my own body that I left in Egypt during the dynasty of Pharaoh Khafra. I left that body alive, in a cataleptic state, because I entered the tomb alive, by order of my God, and I left that body in catalepsy, with all its faculties suspended. Now, in this time, through atomic exchange, I am reincarnating in my own Egyptian body again, so it's something similar. Of course, I haven't yet achieved total reincarnation in that body because the work is long, from an esoteric perspective, right? In that sense, I am 1 year old. The only thing I currently have is the Egyptian brain, which allows me to think, or through which I elaborate esoteric thought. Practically, the head is the only part I've managed to have so far, which gives me 1 year of age. Next year I will have the second year, the year after, the third year. When I reach 7 years, the change will be more noticeable. When I reach 21 years of age, the change will be fully visible, and I will be completely in my Egyptian body here in the Western world, and my Latin body will remain definitively inside the tomb, taking the place of the mummy, the place that the Egyptian mummy has vacated. Student: will it remain mummified? Master: no, it won't be mummified but in a state of catalepsy. Student: and will you be able to use it again, Master? Master: later in time. In any case, I already have a part of the Egyptian body, the head. This head with which I am speaking to you right now was underground for more than 4,000 years. Student: Master, how old were you when you left your body in a state of catalepsy? Master: about 45 years old, or 40 years of age. Student: to make the change, do you have to go there? Master: well, with atomic exchange. For example, if an atom from the heart, let's say, is detached, that atom that detaches from here, from the heart, will travel through the fourth dimension, which drives the atom toward the Egyptian mummy in Egypt, but in turn, on the way, it will encounter another atom that also comes from the mummy's heart. They will cross paths. So, the place that was left vacant here will be occupied by the similar atom coming from the mummy. And in turn, the atom that left here will occupy the vacant place in the mummy's heart. And so, through atomic exchange, interchange of atoms, listen carefully, interchange. Do you know what exchange means? I come to possess the Egyptian body completely. Student: and what dangers could there be in that, Master? Master: well, the process takes place over many years. Currently, from an esoteric point of view, I would tell you that I am 1 year old. If it weren't for the fact that I'm reincarnating in this way, I'd be in a cradle right now, as a 1-year-old child. So, I'm doing the reincarnation alive, in my own Egyptian body. Student: Venerable Master, then, couldn't this body die? Master: well, of course, I'm doing the reincarnation in my own body, right? If I didn't have the Egyptian body there, I would be disembodied, or I would have to attract different atoms to form a new vehicle. But through atomic exchange, it's been possible for me to clothe myself in a new body. I'm already doing it. But this way, I can be with you all in this great work. Student: Master, what was the name of the pharaoh? Master: in the times of Pharaoh Khafra. Student: and the name? Master: it's Khafra. During the times of Pharaoh Khafra, I lived in Egypt, and I left my body mummified, that is, in a state of catalepsy. Student: but what I'm asking is, what is the pharaoh's name, Master? Master: the pharaoh's name is Khafra. Student: what is your name? Master: my name, well, I will keep it secret for now. I'll tell you later. For now, I'll keep it a secret. I don't have authorization. Student: so, does the vital body also have to make the exchange? Master: the vital body of the Egyptian mummy is already here. The one I'm using to talk to you, the Egyptian personality is already here. Through it, I'm speaking to you. The personality I had went to Egypt, and the Egyptian personality came here. The vital body I had went there, and the vital body of the mummy came here. The brain I used to think with is now there. What I have here is the mummy's brain, with which I'm reasoning. And so, I am doing an exchange, slowly, because it is a work of many years, until I fully achieve it. Student: Master, when the exchange is complete, apparently. Master: well, something similar, because through that exchange, it will be aligned, or rather, the atoms, the Egyptian form must now submit to the archetype I currently have in the fourth dimension. And then, the Egyptian vehicle will be adjusted to the new structure. But it is an advantage, because through that vehicle, I will be able to work with humanity until the foundation of the sixth root race, and far beyond. Student: so, do you have to keep the personality stored there? Because if I didn't want to speak with this personality but through the other one, Master, The other personality is already tied over there. The personality I had. Student. And at no point will that personality try to come back? Master. Yes. The other day, I was in the third chamber, and I saw it coming. It wanted to take over. I had no choice but to draw the sword and tell it, return to your tomb. I had no choice but to send it back. What else could I do? Student. Master, could any of us here also possess a mummy and make that change too? Master. Yes, there are some who have mummies. We ancient Egyptians mummified our bodies with the purpose of achieving resurrection. In my case, I can tell you that I am already. To speak to you in a way you can understand, I would say, using the language of the Book of the Dead, that I am emerging with my mummy into the light of day. Only this way could I stay with you. Otherwise, it would have been impossible because my current body, well, has practically died. The current body, I repeat, has practically died, and I say, has died, because I am incarnating into this new vehicle, obviously, was already 60 years old, right? When it died, it was 58, and by now it would be 60. How could I make my trips to Europe? Impossible. Because 20 or 30 more years, I'd be 90. So, when? And Asia, Africa and Oceania, when? No, the body was already too old. There was no other choice but to reincarnate into my own Egyptian body. That's the difference between the case of Tuesday Lobsang Rampa and mine. He needed to enter someone else's body. I am entering my own Egyptian body. Student. Master. Well, there's one thing. About form. Student. Master, since you have the Egyptian personality, does that mean you can easily speak the Egyptian language from that time? Master. Well, I'll tell you a great truth. I am with my Egyptian brain. Yes, that's true, right? But there is still much work to be done for me to fully reincarnate into my body, because to speak the language, I still need terminal atoms, and I have to finish the whole transformation to be complete. At least I remember my Egyptian existence, and I remember it perfectly, and I know all the mysteries of the pharaohs and all the mysteries of Upper and Lower Egypt, and I can also fully understand the entire Book of the Dead, so, in that respect, I have not forgotten Egyptian wisdom. And the Egyptian brain allows me to further update that knowledge. Student. Master. Then, with this new reincarnation. Master. Well, for now, I'm a little 1-year-old boy. This existence is so long that it will last until the end of the Maha Manvantara. Student. Master. Were all those who left mummies initiates? Master. Yes, initiates. Student. Master. Initiated priests. For example, in the Valley of the Kings, many mummies have been found. But dead mummies are one thing, and living mummies are another. Mine remained alive. I was born in Egypt but did not die in Egypt. At a certain age, I was ordered to leave my body in catalepsy, inside a sarcophagus, and with the help of the Hierophants, it was done. So, the body remained alive. That body wasn't always inside the tomb. At the end of any karmic existence, I always took the Egyptian body, and I lived among humans with the Egyptian body, here and everywhere. So, from that point of view, I can tell you that I am immortal. For a long time, I have not enjoyed the dear Sovereign Reaper. You have the fortune of having enjoyed death. I regret not having enjoyed death for more than 4,000 years. Although I disincarnated, I left a body to rest in the sarcophagus, then lifted that heavy lid, walked down the corridor, on the left-hand side, to the surface of the pyramid, with a little cloth, a loincloth on, and saw how to put on clothes again, suits, and so on, figuring out how to fix myself to keep working until the time comes to take another karmic body. When the time comes to take another karmic body, I put the Egyptian body back in the sarcophagus and return to the karmic body. So, dying hasn't helped me at all. I haven't been able to enjoy death for more than 4,000 years. Student. Master. Why is it called the karmic body? Master. Because all those vehicles you have are purely of karma. Which one of you doesn't have karma? Student. Could any of us here achieve immortality? Master. Of course. Student. Because it seems to me that it's already predestined or written in the book of life. If you knew that one of us could achieve immortality? Master. I could tell you, but I won't, and do you know why? Student. Master. Because you would harm yourselves. If you tell a bodhisattva that they are a bodhisattva, they become into la ra ble. It's better not to tell them, and thus avoid